Give us a sign of your presence. And welcome to Let's Talk Ghosts. I'm your host, Steve.
I'm Dan.
No, that was special.
That was special.
That was our Halloween. Welcome to our Halloween special. It's not really special, but it is Halloween.
It is Halloween. Well,
it is the season to be Halloweeny.
It sure is. I'm playing with the soundboard.
Yes, that's the one sounded like me when I was constipated. Do the constipation one.
The constipation one? Okay. Well, I think it was... Oh, here we go. It was ending. I paused it before it ended last time.
Kind of like what I sound like when I'm constipated.
Yes.
I think that's where they got this recording from.
I think they did, actually, yes. They probably, snuck up to the bathroom door with a sound recorder of
Sounds like
sort.
this guy could use some X-Lax.
Yes.
Oh, stop the pain. Stop the agony.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. Hey, what have you been up to, Dan?
Just working school. Finally finished med class, so
Cool.
now it's just working 4 days a week, 10-hour shifts,
Cool.
overnights,
No, that's good.
kind of thing.
Things should calm down a little bit.
Yeah, so hopefully I can get some schoolwork done, get caught up a little bit, maybe pass a couple of my classes.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Will and Jeff are not here tonight.
No,
Just me and you, old school.
going old school.
Old school. Me babbling on about whatever I can think of saying, and you
And-
over there sleeping.
And playing weird noises.
Yes. That sounded like my cat got stepped on.
Yeah, that was Screaming Cat.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, this is our Halloween special. It's not very special, but we were going to, just talk about Halloween.
Yeah.
What it means to us, what it means to people. To me, Halloween's always been growing up, Halloween was probably my second favorite. That's usually what kids sound like. Yes. That's probably my second favorite holiday to Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just Halloween was always fun growing up.
Well, and you know what? Halloween's even fun for most adults.
Yeah, it's fun for adults. I think it's just one of them times where adults can be silly and do goofy things, and it's I don't know. It's just it's usually just kind of a fun time.
It's kids like it because it's the holiday where they get tons and tons and tons of free candy.
Free candy, and
Adults love it because it's one of the holidays where you have an excuse to go out and get completely blasted
and dress up like some
and dress up in crazy outfits and
and
nobody holds anything against you.
Right? You can walk around. It's one night that a grown man can walk around in a tutu and not get picked on.
Right.
Not much. Too badly.
Yes.
And it's great. It's great.
Because I'd say Halloween for adults is probably right up there with St. Patrick's Day as the two holidays a year that a lot of people go out and get pretty wasted.
Wow. Yeah, it's true. I'm actually making wine in the studio now.
Yes, it is a radio studio / Venter.
Yes, I'm a venter.
Ventery.
It's my winery. I mean, if it was haunted, it would be a haunted winery.
Yes, it would.
Like the old Ghostly Talk crew. They transmitted their show from the haunted winery. So we're kind of copying them a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So, but we actually are making wine. I don't know if those guys made wine or not, but we're actually making wine. Oh, my wife's here.
Good thing she doesn't listen to the show.
Yeah, I know. She'll probably listen to it. So this will probably be the one she listens to. So what have you been up to? Just going to school and doing your school stuff and
Work.
getting ready for Halloween, which is Saturday night. we're actually pre-recording this a little bit in advance, but
because our show airs Friday before,
right.
and then Sunday after, right. And then I guess Monday again after.
So you live in a house in a development.
Well, it's not a development; it's a neighborhood.
No, it's a neighborhood, I guess you want to call it. And there's a lot of houses.
There are a lot of houses.
And now this is your first year living there, but what we've heard is they get a lot of kids.
Well, I know that when my friend Rainbow, when she lived near there, that's where we always took the kids trick-or-treating because there's so many houses close together.
And it's flat. You don't have to go up down hills.
I'm still living in Endicott.
The houses are all close to the road.
Yes.
You're not walking very far off the road to get to a house.
Right. The houses are right on... you're taking a couple steps off the sidewalk and you're on the porch.
From the edge of the road, from the sidewalk to the porch is like 3 steps.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Where I was before, I've been living on the north side of Endicott, which is up on a giant hill. And so, I mean, it's hit or miss up there because a lot of people don't like walking up and down hills all night.
Right. Yeah, when you were up on Odell there, that's hit and miss.
And then, then you hit downtown Endicott, and that's mostly like apartments.
Right.
So it's hard to trick-or-treat at apartments. So
basically all of Endicott's going to come over to your road and hit trick-or-treat.
All over to my neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yep.
So what are you buying, bringing in a tractor-trailer load of candy, or...
I was thinking about just getting, a pack of gum, and once that's gone...
Hand out 5 sticks of gum, and once that's gone. Yeah. That's pretty generous, yeah. Actually, probably, we're going to go shopping with you tomorrow night. I'm thinking probably somewhere between around 10 pounds.
I don't know. Just going to buy a crap load of candy, I guess. I don't know.
Whatever's left is left.
Yeah.
You can give it to me.
Yeah.
My sugar is... I'm right on the edge of being diabetic, so I might as well just load her up.
Yeah, I don't want it. I'm not even close to diabetic, but I still don't want it.
What you do towards the end of the night when kids are coming, you just start filling their bags with it, right?
Yep. Well, that's what I did. My first year living up on the north side of Endicott, I went out and bought, I forgot, 2, 3, 4 big bags of candy because I figured, even the north side is a really, really big neighborhood.
Right.
There's a lot of houses up there. And the houses, it's house, driveway, house, there's...
Well, my wife loves trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
And we never get any.
Right.
She loves handing out candy. But we live out in the country. Our house sets 100 yards back from the road.
Right.
And nobody is going to drive back here and trick-or-treat. They just don't do it.
Well, nobody really trick-or-treats on this. Yeah, nobody really trick-or-treats on this road.
Well, back years ago, there was people that had family, kids, and they were our neighbors, and they'd drive around to the neighbors and trick-or-treat. But
right.
Everybody's kids are grown up, so we get no little kids on this road.
Right.
And so we haven't had a trick-or-treater at our house in probably 10 or 12 years.
Yeah. I'll have several hundred.
The do not trespass or you'll be shot and buried sign out front might have something to do with it.
It might have a little something to do with it.
And this means you trick-or-treaters. No, not really. No, it's just because we're so far out in the country. People just...
But yeah, to finish my story, the first year I was up on the north side, I bought a bunch of candy. And... I had neighbors downstairs who were involved in their church, and they were doing some haunted house or something at their church, so they weren't home, and I was home for Halloween, so I, got a big bowl, dumped a bunch of candy in it, went down, because I had the upstairs apartment, you had to walk through the front door and then up the stairs, so I figured a lot of people wouldn't come all the way up there to knock on the door to trick-or-treat.
Yeah, they're not going to enter a
house.
No.
Yeah, because the front door looked like the front door of just a single-family house.
Right, they're not going to enter and go upstairs, right.
So I got the big bowl of candy. I sat down on the porch, and I was out there for probably between 2 and 3 hours. And, at first I'm just sitting there handing out one piece per kid.
Thinking you were going to get buried.
Because I thought I was going to get buried. I thought I was going to run out before the end of the night. So I'm giving, each kid, one piece of candy. And after a couple hours, I'm realizing I've given out, about 5% of the candy I bought, and trick-or-treating's almost over.
Right.
And so then every kid that's coming by, I'm grabbing whole handfuls and throwing them in their bag. And I still ended up with a whole bunch of candy left over. But from what I understand, Mom knows somebody that lives kind of close to where I live. And she said that she gets a lot of people, so I'm guessing that, yeah, I'm going to get a lot of people this year, and probably going to need a good amount of candy to keep going at all.
I printed a bunch of stuff off about Halloween. I was just going to talk about it. But
Sounds good.
As I go through this, though, it's almost too much information.
Well, yeah, I mean,
if I had more time, I would have highlighted stuff. But I did see some interesting things, like in here. Did you know that traditionally you don't eat meat on Halloween?
I do.
I do too. Western Christian denomination. Oh boy. Are you done?
I think so.
Encourage abstinence from meat on All Hallows Eve. What is that supposed to be?
Boiling water / witch's cauldron. 30 seconds.
30 seconds of a witch's cauldron, huh?
Well, I can stop it.
But apparently,
I did not know that.
You're supposed to eat vegetarian stuff and vegan type food on which includes the cider and the potato and pancakes and soul cakes and apples, and that's where like all your your candied apples and all that.
Bobbing for apples.
In the old days, it was candied apples that were handed out to kids.
Right.
And of course, that tradition stopped when somewhere along the line, some wackadoo stuck a needle in an apple or a razor blade, and the media got on it. And
now, I have a question. Is that just an urban legend, or has that actually been done?
I think it actually happened like once. But once it happened, then everybody's going, well, it could happen again. I don't want little Johnny to eat an apple with a razor blade in it. And so now they just, plus they also, you can only hand out prepackaged candy.
Right. Well, I mean,
it's got to be sealed.
Yeah.
It's got to be stuff that's why all the candy you buy now is like in little bags.
Right.
It's not open. Because basically...
Well, I mean, that's just sanitary issues.
Sanitary issues and fear factor.
Yeah.
That somebody might poison it.
Well, I mean, the wrapper isn't going to stop you if you wanted to poison
a
candy.
Syringe of a little cyanide powder through the bag would do it, too. So.
Yeah.
Now watch, somebody's going to do that, and I'm going to be arrested for...
Yeah, no.
Now...
Don't give people ideas.
No. Now, over in Europe, I think it was Ireland, instead of jack-o'-lanterns like we use, Irish, a traditional Irish Halloween turnip.
Mm-hmm.
They would actually take a rutabaga, which is a turnip, and they would carve it like a man's head and hollow it out, and they would put candles and stuff inside of the... Inside of that. Obviously, they probably didn't have pumpkins. So that's kind of interesting. It's basically it comes from a very old, I believe it's a pagan.
Yes,
it's got pagan.
Well, like the Celts, I believe it was. The Celts were pagan.
A pagan religion. And
it was a harvest festival.
Harvest, and it was a night to honor the dead.
Right.
Your dead relatives and stuff, and some.
Well, I believe that they believed that on the night of All Hallows Eve, the veil between the living and the dead was very thin.
That was at its thinnest,
and the dead could walk amongst them, and that's where also the masks and stuff came from. Is they wanted to scare off the evil spirits.
I was reading here. I'm not going to read through this whole thing because it'd be very boring. But
yes, I would to hear you read for the next 20 minutes.
In some religions, or some of it going back in time, they would that was the night that day you would visit your loved one's grave,
right,
and do some there'd be certain ritualistic things you would do there. But I mean, it was a day to visit your